everyone. My name is Marina Fernandez. I am the coordinator of Plataforma Jazz España. We are the Jazz Festival Association in Spain. And since 2021, we run this this online space called Jazz.0, where we have presentations and discussions and chats about different topics related with music and with jazz in particular. We have been talking this year about sustainability, accessibility, poetry. We've done presentations of books, and today we are talking about a very beautiful campaign that is called Small is Better, that belongs to a very beautiful project that is called Better Life, and that as Plataforma Jazz España, we are part of it. And for this matter, we have two special guests with us. They are both from Le Periscope. This is a fantastic venue in Lyon, France. And I want to welcome and give the thanks, the special thanks to these two persons. They are Mathilde Sallez. She's working in Le Periscope as European coordinator in general, and especially of this project, Better Life project. And we have also with us today Armelle Llop. She's the communication manager of Le Periscope and also of this project, of Better Life project. And she's in charge in particular of this campaign called Small is Better that we are going to present today. So thank you very much to both for being here. And yes, we can maybe start presenting the general frame of the Better Life project, and then we go a bit deeper into Small is Better. Maybe Mathilde, we can start with you.
Thank you, Marina, for the invitation. We are very happy to speak about the Better Life project and especially the Small is Better communication campaign today with you. So to give you a bit more context, I will just briefly present the Periscope and the Better Life, and then I will leave the floor to Armelle to go a bit deeper in what's the communication campaign. So as you said, Marina, the Periscope is a small capacity venue. It's located in the heart of Lyon, a big city in France, and it's a living venue. We are open like 3 or 4 times a week, and we are doing jazz and improvised music concerts. And it's important to say that it's a 250 capacity seats approximately. For a few years now, we are developing European projects, and we are leading one right now that is called Better Life. And the aim of this project is to sustain the circulation of artists while reducing their carbon footprints, their carbon impact. So to do that, we are experimenting with our 10 partners all over Europe, some sustainable touring, and we are funded by the Creative Europe program of the European Union. We are experimenting those tours, and we are also working on studies and report to understand a bit more what's the stakes and what we should do to build a systemic, sustainable, and desirable music life sector for the future. So we've been navigating between experimentation and research field, and now we are launching this communication campaign that is quite engaged on political aspects, and that's really important to show that today. We now gather a little experience on that kind of sustainable tours. We have a lot of data. We've experimenting this dynamic with 60 tours already in more than 18 countries. So that's why today we feel a bit more legit than 2 years ago to go public with that. Because we've observed, and we are now able to show the recommendation that we think would be good to build and to do all together as the music sector, to be in accordance with what we think is good to do collectively. So Marina, you're part of the Better Life Project. I don't know if you want to say a word about it, but then Armelle will present you a bit more the communication campaign and its political message.
Yes, from in Plataforma Jazz España, we have been members of this project, Better Life. We started in 2023. And yeah, for us, as Mathilde was saying, has been having a very good introduction in how can we transform our sector into one much more respectful with the environment, and how can we change our day-to-day practice, for example, building tours, artist tours. And in these 2 years, we have done in Spain more than 30 concerts with this frame and all the things we have learned about green mobility, deep mobility, co-programmation, and a lot of concepts that we have learned in Better Life. So we are very grateful to Le Periscope and to all the partners. We are in this project, and also with the campaign Small is Better. We are 11 partners. So a lot of people, a lot of professionals from the industry involved in this topic, no? The small venues is important, as Mathilde say. Le Periscope is about 250 seats, and we are talking about these measures, no? And small venues and small festivals. In Spain, there are many small festivals and also small venues who are really important for the sector in Spain, as in the rest of Europe. So that's why we appreciate very much how Better Life has focused into this topic at the end of the project. So now we can go more deeply into the campaign, maybe with Armelle into Small is Better. We love
Yes.
the claim, small is better.
Yes.
Catchy.
Why did we took such a statement as small is better? So first of all, I want to be very clear on the fact that we are a cultural actor speaking. We're not experts of ecological or activism, communication. So we are really like, our team is full of people working in culture and in music in particular. So what we decided to do with the end of the Better Life project is we had the feeling that we needed to do something with all the work, all the tours that have been organized during the project. So we've launched a communication campaign based on the political statement, and more precisely on ecology, because this was the main topic we were working on. But it was not only on ecology. So first of all, I can maybe explain to you guys why we decided to release the campaign a few months before the end of the project. The first thing is that it takes time. It took time for us to feel legit about the topic. After 4 years of experiments, we had enough knowledge, we had enough data, we had enough information to win legitimacy and to make a public statement, to take position. It's not easy to take position when you are talking in the name of 11 partners. So it takes time for a team to feel legit about that. Another thing to say is that we needed also time in our team. The Periscope was leading the communication campaign and was leading all the communication of the project during the 4 years. So our team needed time to adapt to the project complexity and diversity, because the reality are so diverse, from Greece to Spain, to France from Ireland. So it's very important for us to make sure that we found the good language elements, the good keywords, to be able to speak to a larger audience, to make sure that the people coming to a show in Greece understand the same message as the people coming to a show in Slovenia and Poland, for example. So only after a certain amount of time we could truly embrace and make elements like language elements ours in the team. And from there we could totally move on the way and find a way to communicate. We decided to work with a French agency that is very good at creating narrative contents and impactful visual contents. After a few meetings with them, we decided to use a very simple keyword in 3 words that was small is better, because we thought it was simple, accessible, and easily to resonate broadly all across Europe, all across our partners' audiences. What we decided to do in terms of tools regarding the campaign is that we decided to work on a key communication element that was the advocacy. The advocacy is like the key element of the whole campaign. Every tools, every element leads to the advocacy. And based on this, we decided to work on social media contents, and especially on a video short series format that will be easy to understand, fun to watch, and accessible for all people across Europe. So
I can share, if you want, Armelle, I can share the screen and we can see a little the web page of Better Life and the image of the campaign.
Yes. So to complete this, a few elements we worked with is that we worked with a few rules in mind. The first one is that we didn't want to sound moralistic or judgmental in our text, because most of the time when we're talking about ecology, people feel like we are feeling a little bit of freedom that they can have. So this is something we wanted to avoid. This was our first rule. The second rule was that we wanted to make sure that the campaign support values of the European projects and partners with all the complexity and realities, and going beyond French perspectives. And defend an European vision of live music. And also, maybe you can just scroll a little bit so people can have a look at the different arguments. So if I go deeply into the content of the advocacy, which is, as I said, really at the heart of our campaign, the main element of this advocacy is that it argues that small and medium-sized venues are essential to the future of live music. With all the events we've created, with all the data we've collected, we are now totally sure that the future of live music is designed in small and medium-sized venues. In opposition to mega concerts, arena, and stadiums, that are huge venues that are concentrating money, attention, and carbon emissions, while at the same time, small and medium-sized venues host most concerts. We have a very big number coming from the National Center of Music that argues that economically 1% of concerts capture 34% of revenues. That is creating a huge imbalance. Of course, putting a small and medium-sized venue in a fragile economic circle. The other argument so we have economic arguments. The first one is the one I mentioned about the 1% of concert capturing most of the revenues. And the second part is the ecological arguments, showing that we know, based on the research and different studies that have been released across France and Europe, that audience travel represents up to 18% of concerts emissions, and larger venues cause longer travel. So we decided that putting these four arguments, the first one, the economic, and the second one, the ecologic, was very key to help people to empower and to understand in a better way what we thought that was meaningful in our advocacy. So yeah.
Yeah. But I was thinking that it has to be, it's difficult avoid being moralistic when you talk about environment, and in this case when you talk about big festivals and big venues, because people who enjoys the music enjoys also big festivals and big venues. And when you want to put the focus on why it can be, let's say, dangerous, this polarization is not easy to communicate. So I think the campaign is very well structured, because it gives you very solid arguments without being moralistic, no, without being looking at you from high to, no, I don't know the
Yes.
expression in English, but trying to have a data in which you base the arguments you are expressing, and that takes you to a very logical conclusion, no? Why it's important to
Yes, and
support this small
I
venue.
would say that it was really strategic for us to put the economical argument first, because the cost of living right now is a big topic in all our societies. Yeah, with the inflation, everything is super expensive. So people have a look on the economical topics. So we thought that it would be more impactful to talk about that first, and then also to explain to people that there is a huge gap between stadium concerts and small venues. And at the end of the day, supporting small venues is also a political choice. Because as we explain in the advocacy, there are ecological reasons, but there are also economical reasons, and all venues, all small and medium-sized venues, are currently needing people to support them, and more than ever, if you want to have a green live music sector, we know exactly what we have to do, and we need to spread the word that people need to support small venues. It doesn't mean that it's a shame to go see Beyoncé at Stade de France or whatever, but it also means just that, yes, give some room and give some space for small venues, because if small venues disappear, it means that 99% of concerts disappear as well.
I think in the case of Spain, it arrives in a very good moment, because now the reports of this last year, I've been attending some professional meetings a couple of weeks ago in the Monkey Week. It's a meeting here, it's a national meeting here in Portland, and all the data is so good in the sense of the numbers are rising high, no? The people is very optimistic, but there's always a hand rising, say, yeah, we are optimistic with the big concerts, but what happened with the small venues? What happened with the small festival? And it's important that we the industry of music is not just about big venues. It's fantastic, as you say, go and see Beyoncé and others, but what happens with this data? We cannot forget. And about supporting.
Also, I thought that it was interesting for us to do a parallel between the 1% and the 99% of venues, because it's the 1% of the richest men, of the richest people in the world. This is a good comparison, but it is a true comparison. When we saw the numbers, we were like, okay, people will understand easier because it's so close, you know. So yeah. What I want to also to mention regarding the advocacy, which was interesting for us, is that when we wrote it, like we wrote it like me with Mathilde and Pierre, our director as well. We really had in mind that we wanted everybody to understand it. So we sent it to people that aren't in the music field or aren't really like into culture activities, to make sure that everybody could understand it. And I think that's why also it worked. It's easy to understand. It's easy to take a position with it, and yeah, I'm glad it's easily accessible.
Yeah, it's important. Also, you gave us the chance to make the materials in Spanish to help. I guess it did happen also with other colleagues from other countries. Of course, the English is very universal, but for a Spanish person, it's always easier. So all that work was done.
Well, even for French, you know.
Yeah, sure. And going again to the campaign itself, if you can tell us a little about the calendar, when it began, when it's going to end, and a bit the content. How did you do it the way you do it? Just to tell us a bit about this.
So the campaign started by the end of September this year. So basically, we started with just sharing the advocacy right away. We didn't share everything at the same time, so no videos first, but mostly all the contents of the advocacy. And actually, the campaign is still running at the moment. It was supposed to be over by the end of November, but we have some like good answers and success, so we're just going to continue a little bit. So basically, yes, every week we've been sharing a video. So there was a series of 6 videos. Each video had a very specific angle on a very specific aspect of the advocacy. Everything was linked. So every time we needed to work on a specific editorial content. And each time it was also like very specific and like numbers to be shared. So it's a bit longer. It's I would say more technical work in editorial aspects of what we're doing most of the time for the Periscope when we are talking about music and shows coming up. Because talking about technical elements, ecological arguments, economical arguments takes time. It takes verification. So I thought that we were more like a bit of journalists or a press redaction, just looking at the numbers, making sure it's the right ones. So we've been sharing 6 videos in 6 weeks, and also we've been doing press coverage. So as I said, the campaign isn't over yet, so we still have like a few results to come. So far, if I'm just talking about France, we managed to communicate on French professionals and to share with them a full kit of elements. What I forgot to mention is that this campaign has been totally designed without logo. There's no logo of Better Life. There's not the logo of the Periscope of Plataforma Jazz España. It's totally just a Small is Better landing logo, natural, that people can totally use and share. This is what we really have in mind to make sure that it's spread everywhere. And basically, we've been sharing videos, graphic kits, graphic assets, InDesign files, posters in A3 formats in black and white, ready to print, so that each venues could just use it and spread the word. Basically, in France, so far there was more than 70 venues that have been sharing this campaign. So sharing, it means like putting an article on their website about it, just printing a poster and put it in their wall, or sharing it on social media. It's a very, very big number. There currently still a movement in France right now about the campaign. It's a bit early for me to say if this movement has been spread across Europe, across Poland, across Spain. It's not over yet, so we'll see. But so far, we managed to get good results about it, and we are very happy because our goal is just to make sure that people realize that small venues are just the future of live music.
I think that the narrative is so strong that the company really made a good job going deep into the message, because when you have a very truthful, a very strong message, the campaign is just is not something that starts in September and finishes in November. It can really takes longer because it's a strong message, no? And this the idea that you said that is no logo also helps the people to make it yours somehow, because you are not branding with a company that you don't know that much, maybe, or I don't know, you are going to the concept and the philosophical idea behind the message, and I think it is very much in the root of the idea and the tendency that there's a lot of people worried about the climate change and the transformation we have to face. So, and the decreasement, I don't know in English how is this word, but you know, going against the crazy tendency of the capitalism in general, no? So the root of the narrative is so strong that it really makes the campaign strong also, no? And I think
we really wanted to put some efforts on the community and showing that small and medium-sized venues are a community, and if we're all talking with one voice, and if this voice can be small is better, we can be impactful, and this can resonate all across Europe. And that's what we really had in mind when we started working with this agency.
So yes, exactly, Marina, it's exactly what you just said. The idea also behind this campaign is to go against the current trend that is going to bigger and bigger concert hall, etc. So that's really this thing going against the capitalism. Even if it's a big word, but that's also what we wanted to do. We don't want to like cancel Beyonce's concert, as Armelle said, but we really want to raise awareness in our general audience to enable them to act consciously when going to a concert or another, and because we know that it may not seem logical or natural to directly think that it's a political choice to go to a concert to another. But what we wanted to do with this communications campaign is really that choosing a venue or another is kind of the same as choosing your alimentation, what you will eat, etc. So we really want to emphasize this that is not logical for everyone that is loving music, for example.
So maybe we can, now that we have explained the campaign, and of course the people that see this presentation and is curious about the campaign goes into the webpage and to the social media and go deeper because as Mathilde and Armelle said, it's about venues, it's about music, but it's much more, no? The narrative is much deeper. But we can maybe finish this presentation if you want, talking about because we are in the middle, you are in the middle of the campaign, it hasn't finished. When it finishes, we will know more about the results, no? The highlights of this campaign. Maybe you can tell us a little about this, but we still have some time in front of us of the campaign, so things can happen still in terms of
yes, we're ready for it.
and we hope it arrives as far as it can arrive. And yeah, I was thinking we can finalize just talking briefly about the importance of talking about politics and life through art and through music in this case. Sometimes I have seen myself in some hearing some voices that say that the art and the music shouldn't be mixed with the politics and the life matters. No, and in my personal opinion, it has always been like that, and it should be been like that. And I think it's very interesting that the arts and the music talks about life and about politics, but it's also challenging. It's not always easy. So what's your experience with this campaign in this topic?
Yeah, I really think that this is it's part of art and cultural organization to take position, whatever happened. Like I think it's part of our role. We are here to open consciousness in certain way for all kind of purposes. So first of all, I will start by saying this. Also, what I realize for the communication of the Periscope and for Better Life is that people are very receptive when cultural venues are taking a stand. I realize over the last 2 years that a large part of our audience expects us to take position, especially on political issues. If I just mentioned Le Periscope, I can totally say that in our communication, we are taking position from time to time, not all the time, because it doesn't mean like it's important to make sure that like we choose the moment when we take a statement. It cannot be every day or every week.
Yeah,
but yes, at Le Periscope, I can definitely say that we are seen as a trusted reference for our audience. We are also seen as a lighthouse in the night, meaning that when there are like racial issues, aggressions, economical issues, ecological issues, I think it's our role to take position. And in a world full of uncertainty right now, this has totally become part of our role to take position. And it's also very clear, and that's what this campaign made me realize, is that it's very clear for our audience that we're not taking a statement for likes and for engagement and to have more followers. We're just taking position because we are like totally convinced, and because we've been doing our research, we've been doing our work of verification. And that's what I said a little bit before, is that in order to take position, it requires to be very relevant, to be exigent with ourselves, to make sure to share, to check facts, to check the information that we share, to make sure that it's true information coming from studies, coming from research. And I think it's key. And for me, you can only take position if you have very clear data, clear information. And that's what I mentioned it when I was talking about the role of journalism. That I like the last months when we were writing the advocacy, I was like, oh my god, am I a journalist of ecological right now? Because this is not my key topic. So I think it's important to just make sure that the facts are important. And yeah.
Yeah, totally. I don't know, Mathilde, if you want to say something about this. Yeah.
I totally agree with what Armelle says. I also think that we have a responsibility as a cultural actor to convey messages in which we trust, in which we believe. And behind this, there is also the question of the general interest, and we are here to defend that. And I think as a venue, as a music venue, we have a power to really push those kind of messages. So we need to do it.
And we give you the thanks, and I congratulate you to do it in that way, putting the facts before, because also for us that we've been part of Better Life and other people who arrives to this campaign that doesn't know anything, you feel more confident to share, even if your politic idea is there. You also feel more confident to share when there are facts and there is science behind, and there is a work and there are reports, and there are some bases that you can have as an arguments. Even if your intention is to share, if you have those bases, is you feel more confident, and it's easier that you share in your social media or with your friends, or in Christmas with your family when they tell you there is no climate change. You say, no, I have here some data. I can tell you about a couple of arguments that I know they are proved, and I know this and that, and it helps a lot to feel stronger to share a message. And I think in Le Periscope and Bertelay have done this at the end of the project with all the information. It really helped us, all the people that we are supporting you and following you, help us also to share the campaign and to have the arguments, no, to talk about it. So we are arriving to the end here. I think I hope we can have more information about the campaign when it ends. If it ends, maybe it doesn't end.
If it ends, we still have some proposal from the press in May next year. So I'm like, we're not supposed to continue, but who knows? If people want it, we'll continue.
Yeah, we'll see. The project unfortunately arrives to an end the next year. In June, I think it's arriving to an end. But well, now that we are here, I tell you both, thank you very much for the experience
Thank you,
this year.
Marina.
And for the Spanish side, has been very good. And also the exciting thing of sharing this campaign that it's happening in the moment. For us, it's also like the first time we jump in something like that, no? And it's also a learning process for us, no? Seeing how you develop it and how we share it all the different partners, no, the 11 partners, and how it goes. It's also, I think, encouraging for the people who participate. So thank you again to both, and keep in touch, and yeah, continue making things that we can join.
Yeah, we will continue to defend small and medium-sized venues. We're not done with this.
No, of course. That when normally the small venues and the small festivals are run by people who are in love with the music, that's why they never end, and that's why they are the support of this, because it's something that it's not so dependent on the incoming grants and it should be, but normally it comes from how we say,
passionate.
Yeah, and from bottom up, no? That's it. It comes from the people. So normally we will hopefully always will have small venues, and
yes,
I think.
I agree.
I agree too.
And I hope you're right.
So that's why they are the future. I'm right. Okay, girls, thank you very much.
Thank
You
you so
both.
much for having us.
It's been a pleasure.
Ciao, Marina.
Let's keep in
And
touch.
if people watching the video wants to share the campaign, please just get in touch.